Hello everyone, I'm Nancy Joes and welcome back to another video from the paper Readings in Literature. So let's begin with the one-act play prescribed in the fourth module for our study, and that is A Marriage Proposal, written by Anton Chekhov. About our writer or playwright Anton Chekhov, he is one among the greatest short story writers and playwright, and he was born in Russia, and he can be called the master of modern short stories. And he was a literary artist of laconic precision. Laconic in the sense brief, precise, concise. His writings were brief, but they were to the point type of writing. And then he probed below the surface of life. So he went deep into the life, and then he laid bare the secret motives of his characters. He revealed the inner thoughts and secret motives and thoughts of his characters in his writing. So he tried to depict the Russian life of his time in his work, that too without using complex literary devices and by using simple techniques. Okay, and then he wrote a short story of considerable length. That's why it's given a novella length. In the sense, novella is a short novel or a long short story. So he wrote a novella length, that is a long short story, in 1888, the Steppe, and this established him as a master storyteller. And the Seagull, Uncle Vanya, Three Sisters, The Cherry Orchard are some of his drama, some of his plays that took him to the heights of fame as a playwright. And now about our play, A Marriage Proposal. It is a one-act play. There is only one single act, and it was written around 1888 and 1889, and the first performance, or it was first staged in 1890. The plot of the play moves quickly along with the dialogue and actions, and situational humor is also included. And Anton Chekhov made fun of the habits of landowners, not only landowners but also the society, the people who intend to marry for economic reasons rather than love. So we'll come to all this analysis after reading or after going through the text. So now let's take a look at the characters in our play. So there are only few characters since this is a one act play. Okay, so we have three. The first one, Stepan Stepanovich Chupikov, 70-year-old man, and he is a landowner. And the second one is Natalia. Uh, she is Chibikov's daughter, and she is 25 years old. And then Ivan Vasilich Lomov, he is 35 years old, neighbor of Chibikov, and he is also a landowner. So now let's read the drama, the text, Marriage Proposal by Anton Chekhov. Please read along with me. And you know that Anton Chekhov is a Russian playwright, and this is in English, right? So this English version is done by, this translation is done by Barrett H. Clark. So now when the play opens, we can see a reception room in Chibikov's home. So the main hall room in Chibikov's home. And as the curtain rises, we can see Chibikov on the stage. So then enters the second character, Lomov, Chibikov's neighbor. So he is wearing a dress suit, that he is dressed in a formal way. So now Chibikov going toward him and greeting him. Who is this I see, my dear fellow? Ivan Vasilich. I'm so glad to see you. Shake hands, but this is a surprise. How are you? Now Chibikov went towards Lomo and received and greet his guest. And then Lomo replies, Thank you, and how are you? Chibikov. Only so, my friend. Please sit down. It isn't right to forget one's neighbor. Now tell me, why all the ceremony, dress clothes, white gloves and all? Are you on your way to some engagement, my good fellow? So now Chibikov is asking, see, please sit down. And why are you in the ceremonial, why all the ceremony? Why are you dressed in a formal way with gloves and all? Are you going to meet somebody? Are you going to attend some function? Do you have some engagement? And then Lomo replies to that, I have no engagement except with you, Stepan Stepanovich. See, Lomo replies that no, I don't have any other engagement. So I'm not going to attend anyone else. I don't have any other meeting. I came to meet you only. And Chibikov, but why in evening clothes, my friend? This isn't New Year's. See, still Chibikov is wondering why he is dressed in this way. And this isn't some special occasion like New Year and all. So why he is dressed up formally? And then Lomo, you see, it's simply this that now Lomo is getting tensed and he is struggling to find words and then composing himself. Composing oneself means calming oneself. So, he is calming himself and then continued. I have come to you, Step and Stepnovich, to trouble you with a request. It's not the first time I have had the honor of turning to you for assistance, and you have always. That is, I beg your pardon, I'm a bit excited. I'll take a drink of water first, dear Stepin Stepnovich, and then he drinks. See, now he, tells Chibikov that, see, I came with a request. I have a request to make. So this is not the first time I came to, get your help. So I beg your pardon. Please excuse me. I'm a bit tensed. Can I drink some water? Then he grabbed the water and he drinks it. So Chibikov is now, suspicious and confused of this tensed behavior of Lomo. So he is making an aside. So aside is a dramatic technique where one character talks aloud, make a loud comment, but only the audience can hear it. So it may be a thought from the mind. So he is speaking in his mind, so only the audience can hear it. The other character in the stage cannot hear it. So he is making an aside that he has come to borrow money. I won't give him any. See, he is, thinking that. So I think that he came to borrow some money or something. So I'm not going to give him any money. And then he turned towards Lomo. And what is it then, my dear Lomo? And Lomo, you see, dear Stepnovich, pardon me, Stepan dearvich, I mean, I'm terribly nervous. As you will be as good to see. What I mean to say, you are the only one who can help me, though I don't deserve it, and I have no right whatever to make this request of you. So now Lomo is trying to make his request. He's trying to speak out, but he's really tensed and nervous, and he's finding it difficult to express what he wants to say. So he's finding it difficult to find words to speak. And then he tells Chibikov that, Chibikov, I am sure that you already noticed that I'm nervous, because it is very clear from my appearance itself that I'm really nervous. So I want to make a request, and I don't think that I deserve to ask you this. So, but I know that I don't have any right to ask, but still I'm making to, I'm trying to make this request. And Chibikov, don't beat about the bush, my dear fellow. Tell me. No, beat about the bush is an idiom, as an usage, which means, saying something without coming to the point. Sorry, to speak vaguely or being unclear. That is, beating about the bush. So now Chibiko is saying, don't make it complicated, don't make it confused. Don't worry, just say it out. Just tell me, my dear fellow. So Chibiko is asking what he wants to say. What is his request? So now let's see whether Lomo will reveal what is there in his mind. Lomo. So immediately in a movement, here it is then, I have come to ask for the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stepnova. Finally, Lomo revealed what is there in his mind. He put forward a proposal. He asked Chibikov for his daughter's hand, Natalia's hand. He is willing, or he wishes to marry Natalia. And look at Chibikov's response. See, he was really, happy. So joyfully he said, Angel Ivan Vasilich, say that once again. I didn't quite hear it. See, Chibikov is really happy and surprised to hear this request, to hear this marriage proposal. And Lomo, I have the honor to beg. So he started to present the matter in a more formal way. And Chibikov suddenly interrupted it. And my dear man, I'm so happy that everything is so everything. See, he is really happy, he is really surprised, he is excited, and he embraced Lomo and he kissed him out of happiness. I have wanted this to happen for so long. It has been my dearest wish. He represses a tear. That means Tibuco now reveals that he had this mind, the marriage of Lomo and Natalia, in his mind for so long. He always wanted this to happen. So now he is really happy that Lomo expressed his willingness to marry Natalia. So, out of happiness, our Tibuco cried and he represses a tear. Represses means suppressed or try to wipe out the tear. And then he continued, and have always loved you, my dear fellow, as my own son. Lomo, I always loved you as my own son. I love you so much. May God give you his blessings and his grace. And I always wanted it to happen. See, now Tibuco is happily blessing Lomo and he is again saying that I wanted this to happen. But why am I standing here like a blockhead? I'm completely dumbfounded with pleasure, completely dumbfounded, my whole being. I'll call Natalia. So now Chipaka is saying that why am I standing here like a fool, blockhead fool, or like an idiot? Why am I standing here? I should do something. So I'm completely dumbfounded with pleasure. So out of happiness, I can't say even a word. Dumbfound means, getting shocked and not able to speak or utter a single word. So I'm dumbfounded with pleasure, with happiness. See, completely dumbfounded, and I'll call Natalia. So he went to call Natalia. And then Lomo asked him, dear Step Stepnovich, what do you think? May I hope for Natalia Stepnova's acceptance? See, now Lomo was asking the girl's father whether she'll accept this proposal, whether Natalia will accept this proposal. And look at Chibako's reaction. A fine boy like you, and you think she would accept you in a flash? Lovesick as a cat and all that. So now Chipika says that you are such a fine boy, you are such a fine boy, and she will definitely accept your proposal at the very moment you express your love. She has no reason to reject you, and she'll fall lovesick like a cat and all that. See, this is the father's expectation. And then he goes out. He went out to call Natalia. And Lomo was now alone in the main hall or in the reception room. Lomo, I'm cold. My body is trembling as though I were going to take my examination. So Lomo is really nervous and he feels like he is, going to attend some examination. He is going to write some examination. So he is totally nervous and his body is trembling. He is shivering out of that nervousness. So now the playwright is revealing Lomo's innermost thoughts. Okay, but the chief thing is to settle matters. The important thing is to settle things. So now we are going to see why Lomo took the decision to marry Natalia, or why he thought about marriage. So see, according to him, if a person meditates too much or hesitates or talk about it, waits for an ideal lover for true love, he never gets it. According to Lomov, if a person meditates or thinks too much, he'll never get it. If he hesitates or delay things too much, or act reluctantly or unwillingly too much, he'll never get it. Or if he talks about it too much, he'll never get it. Or if he waits for the ideal thing or the true love, he is never gonna get it. So it's important to settle things. See, now this marriage looks more like a deal, settling some things, settling some deals, right? So and let's continue. Brr, it's cold. Again, he feels cold. He feels tensed. Natalia is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, well educated. What more could I ask? And when Lomo considered all these things, he found out that Natalia is perfect for marriage. And I'm so excited, my ears are roaring. He drinks water. He drank water to calm himself. It would be a mistake not to marry. That would never do. See, now he is thinking that it'll be a mistake if I don't marry. In the first place, I'm 35, a critical age, you might say. So now he is, listing out the reasons why he is marrying, or he took the decision to marry. So the first one is that he is already 35 years old, a critical age. So if he don't marry right now, it'll be too late. Already he is in his 30s. And then the second reason, in the second place, I must live a well regulated life. So I should live a controlled life. Why? Because I have a weak heart. So I have physical, weakness. I have physical problems. So my health is not okay. I have a weak heart, continual palpitations. So palpitation is the condition where our heart beats fastly, rapidly, and irregularly. So that abnormal heartbeat condition. So I have palpitation. I'm very sensitive and I always getting excited. I get excited, and then my lips tremble, and the pulse in my right temple throbs terribly. See, my lips so tremble when I'm, in a stressful condition. And in temple is TMPL, temple here is, a part in the forehead. So the pulse in my temple throbs or beats terribly. But worst of all is the problem of sleep. See, I have all this problem, but the worst thing is regarding my sleep. I hardly lie down and begin to doze before something in my left side begins to pull and tug, and something else begins to hammer in my left shoulder and in my head too. I jump up like a madman, walk about a little, lie down again. But the moment I fall asleep, I have a terrible cramp in the side, and so it goes all night long. Say I'm not able to sleep properly because whenever I try to sleep, whenever I lie down, I'll close my eyes, but immediately I'll feel pain throughout my left side of my body and my head. It feels like someone or something is being pulled out. So I'll be in extreme pain, and I'll jump up like a like a madman, and I have all these physical problems, illness. So it'll not be good if I delay my marriage. So I took the decision to get married. So, while he thought of all these things, enter Natalia Stepnova. So we'll take a look at that in the next class. So, as your assignment, please write a brief summary about what you have heard, giving importance to character analysis.